Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I thank the gentleman from Tennessee for his observations. And I do know that I believe he says that with you know, a complete sense of how best to approach this. I would ask one thing, and that he not, as some others do, give credence to the idea that somehow when we are not here in Washington, we are otherwise not working. You know, this idea that every third week somehow we are off. I know my colleagues, many who I speak to, who keep exhaustive schedules back in their districts, would not consider that to be time off. But Mr. Chairman, thank you. I did want to take a moment to discuss this issue with respect to a particular aspect of our Federal workforce. I have an amendment at the desk.
The clerk will designate the amendment.
Amendment to H.R. 3029, offered by Mr. Meehan of Pennsylvania.
The gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes to explain his amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The essence of this is to strike certain language that would, in effect, create the ability for law enforcement personnel to not have to be treated in the same manner as all other Federal employees. I do not say this out of any disrespect for the work that is done across the board by Federal employees who I think most, if not all, come and give the best that they can. But I think it's the unique mission of the law enforcement challenge in and of itself. I mean, we all appreciate that that is among Federal employees the one group that, in effect, runs into danger when the rest of us leave. But it is really more, I think, the fact that we have identified that the growth in where there is any growth related to Federal law enforcement is often very much mission specific. I mean, they come and they identify a budget that they have each year. There are priorities which are identified from my experience as a United States Attorney working with many of the agencies, from the FBI to DEA to ATF and all of their associated agencies that are covered under Section 8401(17). The unique mission of law enforcement in terms of public safety is created in a way to match the challenge and the need of public safety. In addition, there is training that is associated and the necessity for the workers to be able to work as units, for those who work in concert with other kinds of on a specific mission that may be related to a particular challenge at the moment. When we are talking about Federal law enforcement, it is a unique environment. Many of the individuals have to go through extensive background checks and extensive training before they're even enabled to be out there on the line protecting all of us. And so for that reason, among many, I wanted to have us consider the concept of striking the language that would include Federal law enforcement personnel in these provisions. It does not mean that they should be immune from appropriate oversight and justification, but that budget that they must justify each year is the basis upon which we should be deciding the size of the law enforcement personnel. Let me just make one last comment as well from the gentleman from Massachusetts. Observations. I do appreciate the need for us to be dealing with the budgets that we have at this moment and the need to be responsible with our dollars, but I do speak in agreement with his recognition of the many soldiers and other military personnel that we expect to be returning from overseas with traumatic stress, with substance abuse. I just met this week with individuals. We do not appreciate that 1 in 5 of our personnel from overseas who are in military duty are returning with issues, many of them substance abuse related. We do have a responsibility with our VA as well.